respected dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Bandhuratmaiva manastasya yena atmaiva atma jita anata manastu shatrutve vartetva maiva shatruvat. These lines from the Bhagavad Gita goes to show that for one who has made the mind who has conquered the mind becomes his greatest friend. For the one who has failed to do so, the mind becomes his worst enemy. Late Hamilton, a famous surfer, has said, make sure your worst enemy doesn't lie between your own two ears. These illustrations goes to show that how important the mind is in all the endeavors of man, all the activities in all the spheres of life. Stating from my own personal experience, even as a young boy, I was an outdoor guy, always involved in outdoor sports, right from goli, lagori, chinidandal, and of course cricket. Every Indian boy is fond of cricket. Finally, I stuck to cricket, and I progressed. BT Ramaya Shields, then during a few days in the college days, all kinds of intercollegiate tournaments, then private club, then I joined the... But as I started playing, people said, you're a very stylish batsman, you're very competent, very technically sound, and they expected a lot from me. But that was not to be. I failed a lot in the initial days. People said, "Arey yaar, you play so well in the nets, what happens to you during the matches?" I didn't have an answer to that. But somewhere I knew that it was all in the mind. I had to do a lot of introspection, develop a lot of self-awareness, and I worked on myself and found out the pulse of what it takes to succeed. And from then on, there was no stopping me. I scored heavily in all the KSA senior division cricket leagues till I hung up my bat. Moving fast forward to the decade between 2000 and 2010, my eldest son, Akhil, he's now doing his postgraduate in journalism at Chennai Asian College of Journalism. When we were in Mysore, and he took up to table tennis, and he progressed so much that we put him on to competitive table tennis, and for 8 long years he represented the state in all the categories from cadet to sub-junior to junior, youth and men's, and even lot of state ranking tournaments, and went on to represent Karnataka in the nationals. And he's also a gold medalist in the School Games Federation of India, gold medalist. And somewhere along in his journey, he got struck mentally. There was a mental block. He was not able to move forward. That was the time when I met Mr. Prem. And somebody suggested he lacks that inner instinct. Everybody said he can win the national title, but he was not winning. So somebody said, why don't you take him to a psychologist? I searched around for a sports psychologist, couldn't find anyone. I was alarmed. Everybody wants to teach the techniques, but who is going to attend to the mind, which is all important? I couldn't find anybody, honestly. I took him to a lady counselor. He was not comfortable with her. Then at best I got an NLP trainer. Okay, it helped him. But he was able to move forward from there on. And besides, I also had my own experience to back up to this. Then I decided I want to do something about this and to reach out to athletes, because mind is important. From my study of the brain and how the body movements happen, without the brain giving its consent, even this little finger will not move. The brain is so important. And who is going to corrupt this? Left to itself, the brain functions beautifully. God has made us so beautiful. Left to itself, the body functions so well. We perform so well. But put a virus, we're gone. If you put a stick into a turning wheel, it will come to a halt. Like that, put a virus into a computer, it will go function, it will not malfunction. So likewise, what can make the brain malfunction is our thoughts, our negativity, our negative thoughts, all our stress, our anxiety, our outcome orientation, blah, 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 so many things. So I decided to do something about it. Coming from the engineering background, I didn't have an inkling of what psychology was. Unless I knew there's something psychology has to do with the mind. And everybody thinks, when you talk about psychology, everybody relates to psychiatry. talk mind to somebody, said, what is happening wrong with me? I'm perfectly all right. Why do I need these tips from you? Everybody is mentally all right. So I had to grind myself, get into this field. I did some courses in psychology, and then sports psychology followed. But that was not enough. Somewhere I had to understand the feeling of a common athlete who is competing in the field. And even the athletes and all performers go through a lot of emotions, because anything that happens on the field and off the field affects the mind. When the mind is affected, very difficult for the body to function. So there I had to do something. Then, since I was in a responsible government job where I didn't get even a day's leave during that time, how can I take up a regular course? So I had to look for something different. So I opted to do a counseling course in I diploma in counseling skills. Somebody said there's an organization doing extremely good work. Okay, they are the pioneers of lay counseling. And yes, I joined that organization. And after a year, I passed out. And during the convocation, I was speaking to this gentleman over a cup of tea. I said, I want to reach out to the sports people, and because they go through a lot of emotions. And he said, yes, of course, true. You have to do that, because our organization has never ventured into this area. Why don't you do it? You'll become a pioneer in this field. I'm not the pioneer, because this field is already 100 years old. So he said, and yes, that triggered me that time. It was very inspiring for me. And that gentleman, he is here with us, Dr. Ali Khwaja, chairman of Banjara Academy. That motivated me to do some work into this field. Okay, because, yeah. Then from then on, yes, I complete my counseling course. I start counseling athletes, because, sports psychology itself will not give everything that makes champions, because, basically from a childhood level, every child's upbringing, and his mental strength, his mental makeup depends on his upbringing and on how he has grown and his self-esteem. So these are very important things. I studied a lot about this, and lot was taught to me at Banjara Academy about all this. Then I had always a passion for writing. With this background, I started writing articles in sports psychology for the local dailies. And sports psychology is such a subject that it's very technical, full of theories and scientific jargon. Okay, I had to refine the subject to make it easily understood by the common man. A daily reader of a newspaper should understand what is written. I struggled. I was able to succeed, and I received very good feedback from the readers. And some of my friends said, why don't you compile all these articles and put it into a book? And this now one more thing. I have now the idea of writing a book. That got conceived then. So yes, why not? So after my voluntary retirement in the year 2013, I started working on this. After 4 long years of work and research, we have the success mantra in our hands today. And you're all a witness to that. I'm very happy that you are happy to come for this launch. And I will not talk more about this book, because it is for you to buy and read what is in it and promote. Okay. Yes, please write your reviews on the online platform, Amazon and other things. Yes, I also own my own organization called Winning Edge Consulting, which does a lot of training for mind skill training for performers and athletes. And when I talk about sports psychology and mind skill training, it just doesn't confine to the paradigm of sports. It also applies to all other performers like students, singers, dancers, salespeople, corporates. They are all performers, homemakers. If you think of a situation when you invite a special guest to your home, if you look at the anxiety and tension the lady undergoes, she has done that dish for 100 times and got so much pat on her back, but today she is anxious because somebody important is coming. This is what the mind can do to a performer. So I want to extend this to the other areas also. Already, Dr. Ali Khwaja has touched upon it, saying that academically also you should take this forward. And to add to this, I have introduced a special tool which can help not only for sports, for all other things, even for the corporate people. It is called as a biofeedback and neurofeedback. As I'm the proud owner of that. I'm working on that and hope to use it more and more in the coming years, not just for the athletes, but for all performers. To make a lot of people have contributed to make this book a huge success by giving their interviews, writing forwards for me, writing blurbs, and I want to make a special mention here. Mrs. Ashwini Nachap is such a famous person, but is such a humble lady today. I bow before her because I called her, I got her number. See, it's so difficult to get the phone numbers of all elite people, athletes especially. I don't want to mention cricketers here. Okay. I got a phone number, I made a call to her. And she picked up the call and she said, I said, please give me an interview. I'm writing a book on the mental aspect of sports. She said, please, this is the first time she's seeing me eye to eye. She said, without knowing me who I am and what I'm going to do with her comments, she said, please send your comments through email. I'll answer them. I said, let me give it a try. And just 2 days later, Pat came the reply on the internet. I was so happy that I was dumbstruck. I really bow before her for her humility. See, that is what makes a great person, not just the money they make. So a lot of people have contributed. I thank them sincerely from the bottom of my heart.